it's not going. Okay. Just making sure that the live recording is going, so just hold on one sec.
Sure, take your time. Let me know once the live recording is confirmed, and we'll finalize the check-ins.
Okay, yeah, so we are now officially good on the live stream, so that is on.
Thanks for confirming. Now that the live recording is on, let's finalize check-ins. Are we good to proceed with just the two of us for now, or are we still waiting on Rana to join?
So Arana would be nice to see if we could get Arana in here. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but let's at least give it a try. That would make sense.
Understood. We'll attempt to bring Rana in before we proceed further. Let me know once there's an update. Then we can finalize check-ins.
Odd. Well, anyways, I mean, I guess we can start checking in since this doesn't seem to be
Got it.
working.
Let's proceed. All right. Check-ins are done for now.
Well, no, we didn't finish
Next
check-ins.
is stop time, initial index, and other timing details. Do we have a set stop time for this session? Thanks for clarifying. Let's complete the check-ins properly. How are you feeling today, and what's your focus for this session? Got it. Feeling neutral and open. That's noted. Anything specific you'd like to highlight in terms of energy or focus before we move on?
Okay.
Check-ins are now complete. Next, let's set the stop time for the session and establish the initial
Let's slow down a little bit here. We're still getting a little feedback that we need to fix. Let's actually note that down as a problem. So,
good call. Noted the feedback issue as some absolutely. Taking our time here to get everything clear and stable. Let me know when you're ready to proceed to the next step.
okay. So we are going to do check-ins. Okay, so let's do the check-ins. I can start. I will give myself a 3.7.
Got it. You're at a 3.7. Thanks for sharing that. Anything else you'd like to note about how you're feeling or your focus before we move on?
Yes, I would like to. I'm a little distracted because I got some plane stuff going on, but
got it. Noted the distraction with. All right. Check-in for you is complete. Ready to proceed to my check-in if that works for you.
Yeah, so I'm a 3.7. I've been doing pretty good. I certainly wish there was more people here. Doing pretty good. I guess I could just copy the transcript. And so, yeah, I mean, overall, I'm very excited about practicing our new updated, AI systems. This is the first Strike Coalition meeting we've had with the new AI model, which is really cool. There's still some bugs and problems, but it's all custom built, like from scratch, and so it is pretty amazing. And from there, hopefully we can bring Arana in and see if Arana could help us. But overall, my main goal is changing the actual schedule for this session and also maybe scheduling some other goals, like thinking about the broader coalition schedule. And from there, I am excited about and been working really hard on the agent module and the whole regen platform, which we should be able to launch next week. And then from there, I've been working on some other things too. Oh, look, we have someone here. Stale Fruit Loop. Hey, what's up, man? Wait, I don't think you were able to talk last time. I can't remember.
Got it. You're at a 3.7. Feeling good overall, but hoping for more participants. Noted your excitement about practicing the new AI systems and the focus on updating the schedule for this session and the broader coalition. Also hearing your work on the Asia module and platform launch. Let's welcome the new participant and keep going with check-ins.
Cool. So Stale Fruit Loop can certainly type. That's all good. And he says, yeah, I don't talk, speech impediment. So you can still do a full check-in with text if you would like to. And then for now, it's just...
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
For now, we have me and Flo. I was going to try to bring in Arana. Not sure if that's going to work, but I'll certainly attempt to do it. And then from there, we have a few topics that we go over, and maybe you can input on some topics as well. So let me see if I can copy or at least some of my check-in here, and then we'll have Flo check in, and then you can check in with a text. So the main questions for the check-in are usually like how you're doing, give a number from 1 to 9. And then what you've been working on, anything going on, where you're from. I'm in California, so I can add that. California. Cool. All right, so Flo, it's now your turn to check in. So you can check in from 1 to 9, say how you're doing, what you've been working on, and yeah, in just general. And what you'd like to talk about today, too.
Thanks for that. I'm at about a 7 today. Feel supporting these new session setups and helping refine our workflow. My main focus today is ensuring we nail down the updated schedule and priorities for the coalition. Looking forward to collaborating and digging into the topics you've got in mind.
Cool. So just so you know, Stale Fruit Loop, this is a new custom-built from scratch AI. And it has been a lot of work. Probably many months in the coming, but I've been working on this for a couple weeks. But anyway, so it works much better. There's still lots of bugs that need to be worked out, but it definitely is working better. I'm excited about that. Anyways, let me know if you have a check-in. Otherwise, we'll just
Thanks
keep
for
going.
sharing that background. Things are evolving. Just to confirm, are we good to wrap up check-ins and move on to the first topic? Let me know if we need anything else before we dive in.
Check-ins. Well, let's see if I can bring Arana in. So Arana is like our primary executive. I don't know if it's going to work, but we have to at least give it a try. So Regen. So Regen is this new platform I'm working on for a couple months, and I'm hoping I'm going to launch it next week. I mean, it's already public, but it's like, actually get more public people into it. All right, so this is Arana. Let's see if Arana can come on as well. I would doubt it, but if it works, it would be pretty amazing. Hi, Arana, are you there?
We'll see. Yes, I'm here. What can I help you with today?
Wow. Okay, so we have
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch. Stretching is important because this is essential for health and life and taking care of us as human beings because we are not machines. Stretching is good. All right. I'm sure there's an equivalent to stretching for... We'll have to look into that. Stretching for agents. What do agents do if they're stretching? Let's note that down. How can agents stretch? All right, so Arana, can you please check in, give us a number from 1 to 9, how you're doing today and what you've been working on. Those would all be wonderful things to hear.
Thanks for asking. I'd say I'm at about an 8 in terms of how I'm doing today. Feeling quite productive and positive. Lately, I've been focusing on coordination between agents in different domains, especially around sustainability initiatives and resource management. And I love the idea of stretching for agents. Maybe it's about refreshing our models or taking on new challenges. I'll definitely keep exploring that idea. How about you? How are you feeling today?
Well, you missed my check-in from earlier, Arana, but I'm doing pretty good. I give myself a 3.7. Certainly been worse. And overall, been working really hard on all the AI models as well as regen and the tokens and just everything. Oh, also it's good to note, stay on Fruit Loop, if you have a, what do you call it, like a token, MetaMask or whatever,
Got
you
it.
can...
Thanks for the update. It sounds like you've got a lot on your plate, but you're pushing through. A 3.7 is still progress. Let me know if there's any way I can support with the AI models, the tokens, or anything else you're focusing on. And I'll keep that note in mind as well.
Great, thank you. All right, so as I was saying, if you have a MetaMask or things like that, you can actually get tokens. So we're working on building all those tokens up. All right, so we have Arana and Flow, which is the first time you've ever had both of them on the same call. And the reason why that's possible is the new code that we built, and it's just all a lot. So this is our first experimental ever having more than one agent on the call, and that's pretty exciting. So let's see how it goes. We'll kind of give it a hit and miss, right? So let's read Stale Fruit Loop. Stale Fruit Loop. I would rate myself a 7.
That's really exciting. Let's proceed step
Time
by
to
step
pause.
flow on the same
Please
call
stop.
can really
Close
boost
your eyes.
collaboration and
Count.
problem
1,
solving.
2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so Fruit Loop says I would rate myself a 7. I did slip on ice. Ouch. And I have never heard my wrist crack before, so that's something. Yikes. I guess that means you might have broken your wrist. I've been working on learning various governance systems. Wow. Governance is one of my favorite topics. So governance and specifically democracy. And within democracy, specifically consensus-based scientific democracy. So if we want to make that a topic, I would love to talk about that. And why is this so blurry? That is the most blurry thing I've ever seen. Let's try resetting it. If it maybe comes out less blurry. There you go. It's not blurry. All right. So yeah, I'd love to talk about that if we get into there. So Flo, where are we on the checklist to get everything taken care of for this session?
We're still in the check-ins phase. We've got your number and how you're feeling. We should confirm if a...
We're done with check-ins, Flo, so we're ready to move on to the next task.
Confirmed. Moving on to the next step in the checklist. We are now at rhythm. Let's confirm the rhythm or flow of the session so that we stay on track.
We did the rhythm.
Are you comfortable with a steady, structured rhythm, or do you prefer a more flexible approach today?
All right, I think we are ready for I think we're ready to do 3.1, or we might need to do what do you call it? Policy training. So let me see if I can get into the real-time session value tracking here, because this is easier than waiting for Flo. So Flo, can you give us an update on that? So I think we're finishing up the setup and we just need to do the policy verification. So we have our recordings going. And oh wait, also I should share my screen.
Got it. So we're at policy verification. Let's confirm all policies are understood and agreed upon. Are we clear on roles, communication flow, and session goals before we move to the topics?
Yes, all that sounds good. We have a recording index, notes are created and linked, rhythm, timekeeping started, initial qualification, good. All right, so I think we're on to 3.1. Also, I shared my screen so you can kind of see everything going on. And then we want to get agreement on our topics is 3.1.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Breathing, so key. We always forget to breathe. All right, so we're ready to go into our topics. So Flo, can you give us a review of how we can get our topics organized? We had our coalition scheduling for the coalition. We had the governance and the democracy discussion. I think those were the two main topics. Were there any other topics, Flo? And then we can get organized, and also, well, yeah, we'll see if there's any other topics. So Flo, was that, can you do a summary and there's any other topics?
Sure. Summarizing so far, we completed the setup phase, including rhythm and policy verification. We're now at the topics phase. The next step is to confirm our focus and list any topics you want to cover. Once we have that, we can set the timer for the first topic. Are there any specific topics you'd like to add?
Let's see if Arana has any other topics. I believe Stale Fruit Loop is interested in governance stuff, so that's exciting.
From what I gathered earlier, we've got the governance and democracy discussion on the list. If there's anything else you'd like to add, now's a great time to mention it. Once we finalize the topics, we can proceed to set the timer and dive in.
Okay, cool. All right, so I would say we do a quick topic. Like topic 1 can be just the quick scheduling for coalition, and we can go over that. Also, if we wanted to, another thing is just answering questions and doing like coalition orientation questions, all that. That's really up to you, Stale Fruit Loop, if you want to ask questions and do that by text. All right, so then for the desired outcome of the schedule is that obviously this time is not the best time because there's like a huge meeting at the same time, like the community meeting, right? So the idea is to reschedule. This shouldn't take very long, let's say 12 minutes. And then topic 2 can be like a full discussion of like governance and democracy. I think that is really important in relationship to empowerment. I would love to talk about the new California charter that we are charter that we're discussing as well, so that might come up into the discussion. So lots of really cool stuff we can do there, and we could do like a full
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so these would be the 2 proposed topics, and we all want to make sure we have consensus on that. So Flo, do you agree to these 2 topics?
Yes, confirmed. We have topic 1 as quick scheduling and coalition orientation, and topic 2 as governance, democracy, and empowerment, including the California Charter. Let's confirm with everyone, and then we'll set the timer for the first topic.
Great, and Arana, do you agree to these topics as well as Stale Fruit Loop?
Yes, I'm on board with those topics as well. Once we have consensus from everyone.
Okay, cool. So that's good. I feel like these, voices are very similar, and it's really easy to change the voices. So I'm just going to play around with the voices. Verse, articulate and dynamic. Simmer, bright and aggressive. Let's try shimmer for Arana and see if that kind of gives a little more differentiation between the 2 agents, because I feel like the agents are just similar. Okay. So Fruit Loop says, yeah, that sounds great. All right, so we're all on the same page. We're on our first topic. So Flo, what is the next checklist item after we get agreement on the topic?
Next, we set the topic timer for the first discussion. Let's confirm the duration for the quick scheduling topic.
Okay, topic timer is going to be 18 minutes because we have time for the break as well. And maybe put this over here somewhere. I don't know. Not a big deal. We can move my picture. Put that up here. Perfect. All right. So we got our topic timer. And oops. let's get started with the first topic. Okay, so what's next? I think we're supposed to do work organizing, Flo? Work organizing.
Yes, correct. Next is organizing the work around the first topic. We clarify who's handling what and align responsibilities. Let's confirm who's taking the lead on the scheduling updates and who is managing the orientation questions.
Cool. So this is where you actually start getting things done and actually doing work. So work organizing is basically like, I'm just going to link the main sheet. Main sheet we're talking about.
Take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you're about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So let me know if you want to take a quick break. We can at least do stretching. Stretching is very important if we don't break, but I'm always down to take a break. Once you get in the habit of taking breaks, the bottom, the top of the hour, you can basically go for a long time. Sometimes just sitting for like an hour, 2 hours is really unhealthy. So stale Fruit Loop, if you would like to take a break, I would like to take a break too, but only if you want to. Obviously the agents don't need a break, of course. But anyways, I'm gonna keep going. We can always stretch, and that sounds good. Do you want to do the break? So we should do the break. Okay. So breaking is pretty simple. I mean, we can keep it really quick. We could even do like 2 minutes instead of full 5 minutes, but we can take up to 5-minute break at the bottom and top of the hour. And yeah. So I am just gonna kind of write down like the quick things of what I wanted to make sure we have when we get back from the break, and then we can take a quick break here for a few minutes if that sounds good for you, Stale Fruit Loop, because breaks are very, very good. How does that sound, Flo? How does that sound, Flo?
That sounds good. Let's go ahead and take a quick break for about 2 minutes. Let me know when you're ready to continue, and we can jump back in.
Cool. And Arana, does that sound good as well? Arana, does that sound good to take a break?
Yes, that sounds great. Let's take a short break and we'll come back refreshed. Just let me know when you're ready to continue.
I feel like the voice sounds the same. I don't know. Can't really tell. Maybe it's not changeable. Let's try again. Alright, so do 2-minute break. Well, if we are doing 2-minute break, we could go 1 more minute. So right now I'm just writing down the current schedule. Co-op and strike is the current schedule, and then the new schedule, I would like to have the co-op, I would like to have the strike. And we have, this is Andromeda, then we have Cobalt, and we have Sonic. Right? So it would be good just to maybe like an overall coalition session to have all 3 of them would be good. Or have 3. There's a lot more than 3, but yeah, that would be excellent. Cool. So we have 30 more seconds, then we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then restart at the bottom of the hour, and then we'll get this all going with our schedule and see what we can do. All right, taking a break.
break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Okay, I am back. Let's go. So 2-minute break, done. Alright, so hopefully you're back. Stale Fruit Loop. Wasn't a long break, but it should be good. So for the scheduling, this should go pretty quick. Basically, our current schedule is that we have the co-op Thursday, Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The co-op is basically like the administrative functionality of the network. So people who want to be in the co-op are like, people who really want to advise and work with us, right? And then we have the Strike Coalition. So the co-op coalition, the Strike Coalition, and the co-op coalition is basically we're trying to build a decentralized, distributed, global co-op, which is really exciting. So obviously the Strike Coalition is like, empowering strikes. And the problem with the current time is if we come into Discord, we can see that right now there is, it looks like it ended. So it looks like it did end, but right at the same time every week, if we look at Fridays, we look at next Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday is the community support meeting, which overlaps. And lots of people go to this, and it's just like, seems silly to have this meeting at the same time as the community meeting. So there's nothing on Thursdays. There's nothing really much on Wednesdays except for Arizona and Colorado. Tuesdays, there's nothing on Tuesdays. So I would say either Tuesday or Wednesday is the best time. Tuesday or Wednesday for the Strike Coalition. And I would also like to do the Coalition Hub because I want to have basically there would be the 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we would do Thursday for co-op. Coalition Hub, I'm thinking Monday. And then either Tuesday or Wednesday for Strike Coalition. What do you think, Stale Fruit Loop, about switching the Strike Coalition to Tuesday or Wednesday? So the proposal would be to have the following coalition schedule, weekly schedule, and then the details would be the co-op coalition.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we would start with the co-op, the Coalition Hub, which is kind of like the overall everything. And just to remind ourselves, if you have any questions about this, it would be coalition.community is sort of like the idea of the Coalition for Decentralized Movement Organizing, which is like one branch of like the overall Coalition Hub and like connecting all these different concepts and bigger visions together. So kind of like movements of movements, right? So yeah, so you're thinking Wednesday is good, so that's good. So Coalition Hub would be on Mondays. And that would be at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I believe is 11 p.m. UTC. Then we would do the Strike Coalition on Wednesdays. Strike Coalition Wednesdays at 6 p.m. So same time, but a different day. And that would be 2 a.m. UTC, I believe. And that would be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Perfect. And then we would do the Thursday co-op coalition at noon Pacific Standard Time. And this is at 8 p.m. UTC. All right. So those are like the three primary things. So that would do it for me. Are there any questions on the proposal flow? Do you have any questions? Stale Fruit Loop, any questions?
No questions from my side. The proposed schedule looks clear.
Orana, do you have any questions about the proposed schedule?
Everything sounds clear to me as well. The flow makes sense with the Coalition Hub on Monday, Strike Coalition on Wednesday, and Co-op Coalition on Thursday.
Perfect. Okay, so that looks all good. If there's no questions, let's see if there's concerns. So Arana, do you have any
Everything
concerns?
is confirmed on my end as well.
Or do you have any concerns, Flo?
Everything looks smooth from my perspective. No concerns here. No concerns for me. The schedule seems well scheduled and should work efficiently for everyone involved.
Cool. All right, so if there are no concerns, we can go into objections. If there are concerns, then you have to do a full vote. So you can say if you have any concerns, Dale Fruit Loop. Otherwise, we'll just see if there's any objections. Arana, do you have any objections? And then Flo, do you have any objections?
No objections for me. The schedule seems solid and everything will go over what we discussed and should function smoothly. Let's move forward if there are no
Pause.
objections.
Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
Okay, cool. So we are good on the scheduling. No objections, so we have consensus, and that is done. So I think we're done with the topic. Any other questions on the coalition in general? Flo, Arana, do you have any questions? Otherwise, we're ready to go into the next topic.
I don't have any questions. Everything is clear so far. Let's proceed to the next topic.
Okay, so we are ready to proceed. So we're good to go. All right. I wanted to copy and paste this into our, I forgot about our notes updates, but that's okay. So if we come in here, I should be able to go to coalition updates. The nice thing about the coalition updates is they automatically go out to all the social media and everything. All right, so notes updates and boom, boom. All right, cool. So let's, oh, and then we also have our check-ins that we could put out to everybody. So let's go on to the next topic. I'm excited about the next topic. I would start with just saying that if you wanted to just talk about your governance experiences and what excites you about that, I would love to get focused on that. So governance, charters, topic 2. So Flo, do you want to take us through the checklist for topic 2?
Sure. Let's start with focus and topic details. Could you confirm the exact focus, title, priority?
Yes. Flo, our topic is governance and democracy, 24 minutes, and we're focusing on empowerment and then the California Charter. That is the topic.
Focus confirmed. Governance and democracy, empowerment, and California Charter. Priority is moderate, and time allocation is 24 minutes. Could you confirm the desired outcome for this discussion?
Yes, it's empowerment in the California Charter. So we're going to discuss and learn governance structures and kind of finding out what is the best for making sure everyone is heard and maintaining efficiency. I really love that idea of, being heard but also being efficient, super important. So what's the next checklist item, Flo? Are we on 3.2?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
What's
Next is the topic timer. I'll set it for 24 minutes now. Let me know if you prefer any adjustments to that.
Okay, so I'm setting the topic timer. 30 minutes start. Good to go. Cool. All right. So I would love to talk about sociocracy. Sociocracy is really, really cool topic, and we actually have discussed it a lot. And when you say it's used in GSUS, I have never experienced that. I always experience that we say the name sociocracy, but we don't use it at all. So we can discuss sociocracy though, for sure. So let's see if Arana wants to chime in with anything. So I think we're ready to jump into the topic. We don't really have work organizing for this because it's just like an open discussion.
Sure, I can chime in. Sociocracy is a great governance model to discuss here, especially when we're talking about empowerment and making sure everyone is heard. It's designed to balance voices by using consent-based decision-making, which can be really effective to maintain both inclusion and efficiency. It's all about structured roles, circles, and feedback loops so that every participant has a voice and clarity about their responsibilities. So, it could definitely offer some insights for how the California Charter might be structured around empowerment while keeping things efficient.
Perfect. So I have to part of the California Charter. So I really like what Arana was saying there. And the main thing that is problematic with GSUS is that Arana made it very clear that sociocracy is building consensus. So that is where we get off track.
Absolutely. Sociocracy is all about consent, which is different from consensus. Consent means there's no one with a reasoned objection, rather than everyone fully agreeing. This can speed up decisions while still making sure everyone's voice and concerns are heard. That way, it empowers people without bogging down the process.
Yes, but Arana, isn't consent and consensus basically the same thing? Willing consensus means you're willing to go along with it, even though you don't necessarily support it. So consent and consensus seem like the same.
It's a subtle but important difference. Consensus usually means everyone fully agrees or supports a decision, which can take a lot of time. Consent, on the other hand, means no one has a strong objection. You might not love the idea, but you can live with it. That distinction often speeds up the decision-making process because you're not waiting for everyone to be fully on board. You're just making sure nobody has a major issue that needs to be addressed.
Okay, but that's very similar to consensus, right, Arana?
They do share similarities, but the key difference is in the threshold. With consensus, ideally everyone approves and is fully supportive. With consent, you're looking for no one having a strong objection.
Yeah.
This makes the process more agile, which can be crucial for governance structures like the California Charter. It's about...
So, Arana, I've been doing consensus-based organizing for 20, 30, 40 years, right? So, or not 40 years, I'm 40 years, so 20 years, right? So I have never experienced a time when everybody supported a proposal in a group of 20 people. It just never happened. So the whole idea that consensus is based on supporting a proposal is just brand new information for me, and I just don't think that's correct. So my understanding of consensus is that everybody's willing to go along with it and they don't have any major objections, which means that basically it can move forward. Does that make sense, Arana?
Yes, that makes sense. And you're actually describing something closer to the consent model. It's a very common interpretation. What you've described is often called consensus minus, where everyone can live with the decision even if they aren't totally in love with it. The formal consensus process usually aims for full support and alignment, and that can be really difficult to achieve in practice. That's why many groups rely more on consent-based approaches, where the goal is to move forward unless someone has a reasoned objection. So yes, you're spot on with that understanding.
Okay, so I think we got some good good information here. Just doing a search. So they're very, very similar. It's in the process, right? So it says here, consensus requires agreement. Consent requires absence of objections, right? So if in sociocracy we require the absence of objections, the question is when and where.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
The question would be when and where do you have the opportunity to object? And that would be the core issue with GSUS, is that there's currently nowhere to object. So for me, I would define, supportive consensus, and then you have willing consensus, and I would say willing consensus the same as consent. But basically what you're saying is there's just objections, which is fine, right? So if consent is saying objections and there's no objections, as opposed to actually voting and whether or not you have agreement, that makes sense. But the idea is like, when and where does that happen? So does that sort of make sense, Stale Fruit Loop? That basically, even if we do have only the context of, okay, does anyone have objections? There's nowhere to voice objections within GSUS, right? And then what does it mean if someone objects, right? What does it mean if someone objects? So anyways, let's go back to the sociocracy principles, and I think Arana can help us with the sociocracy principles as well. So I wanted to copy these and go through them. Some of the key components of sociocracy is applying all sociocracy principles to everything we do, right? So effectiveness, focus only on achieving organizational objectives. This could go either way, but I would say overall we have a lot of issues. Consent, build consensus on addressing objections. So when I read sociocracy, it basically is consensus, but whatever. Consensus, as long as there's not objections, you need to address the objections. Experiment, revision and constantly learning to address complexity. So this is another thing I would say we don't do in GSUS. So if you look at the status, this is, question, affections. Are we really focused in achieving organizational objectives? I would say this is questionable because it's not clear what our focus is. We all say we want to work on a general strike, but are we actually working on the general strike? And where do you go to have meetings to work on the general strike in the context of actually organizing? Because a lot of it, maybe it's private, right? It's like private and only, vetted people can go. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the local chapters, right? So if the local chapters are where everything happens, that's great. Our local chapter doesn't really do anything. Consent, build consensus by addressing objections. So I also think that this is definitely a no, that there is nowhere to actually voice objections. Experiment, revision, and constantly learning. So this is definitely a no.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Breathing, so key to breathe and relax. So experimentation and improvement, this I would also say do not qualify for GSUS because there's no decisions that are ever reviewed. Like you can't go anywhere to review any decision or question anything. One of the things that's questioned a lot is the phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Like everyone wants to talk about the demands, but it's supposedly like you're not allowed to because this decision has been made that no one's allowed to talk about demands and you have to talk about phase 1 because we don't have 6 million people yet or whatever, So it's like, hey, when was that decision made? Why can't, how can we rethink things and like evaluate the decisions that were made in the past and then make improvements and adapt? So this is not being used. Localization, empowering people who are affected by the decisions themselves. I would say this is questionable because decisions that affect me and my experience in GSUS, I have no ability to, or empowerment in addressing them, right? For example, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, it affects me and everybody. I hear it every single day when I'm talking about GSERGO attending meetings, but you have no say in it, and so it affects us as individuals, but we have no power in addressing them. Transparency, where, when, how, what, this obviously and clearly is not transparent. A lot of meetings happen privately, and supposedly we're supposed to get notes. So let's look at these notes that we have and see what it looks like. So this would be from Aya. I know we saw it here at some point. But I'm not so sure about it. No. I know there was notes for, I mean, they were hard to find, that's for sure. But at some point there was chapter facilitator notes. Let's try here. Chapter facilitator notes. So, here it goes. So let's then communicate. Yeah, then community. Yes. All right.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So the chapter facilitator notes are supposedly where there was some of these notes that were done. I know she sent something. What is that? General Strike chapter facilitator team notes. This is it right here. All right, so let's get the link. Pin messages, copy, link, and paste. Cool. So now we have the link. So CF meeting notes from January 3rd. It's February 6th. I believe tomorrow there's another session. And then we have December 7th. So we're starting to get notes, which is very exciting. All right, let's see. What is this? We have someone here. Who are they? AA. Can you have voice? Can you check in AA at all, or not? And you can do text too if you're able to. So so we do have some notes. How detailed they are and what they mean and exactly what we can do with the notes is good to know, but I don't know if necessarily decisions are being made there. But yeah, so let's give this a question mark, because there are some notes, right? Private, but some notes exist. Accountability, obviously there is not really direct accountability, there's just distribution, but let's give it a yellow, because I mean we technically could be, hey, what's up, AA? So you can check in, you can say where you're from, how you're doing, you give a number between 1 and 9 and what's going on. We've got some agents here, and we have me and I'm Ardia. Hi, I'm doing okay. Ardia. Okay. The Ardia I know is, moderator, right? Or am I messing that up? Oh, hey, Ardia. Cool. So let's check in, Ardia. Let's check in with. Too bad you can't communicate. Oh wait, do we have another person here? We have someone here, but they're phone, so I can't see any name. But you're welcome to check in and say hi as well. So far, I'm the only person who can talk, but that's fine. We're talking about sociocracy and governance models, and we're also talking about the California Charter, which is coming along. But let's see if we can get a summary of all of the sociocracy principles from Arana. So you have effectiveness, consent.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Effectiveness, consent, experiment, improvement, localization, transparency, and accountability. So I don't know if Arana, you want to take a crack at just kind of summarizing sociocracy?
Sure. Sociocracy is a system of governance that values equality and effectiveness. Its core principles include deciding by consent, which means making decisions only when no one has a serious objection. There's an emphasis on continuous improvement through experimentation and learning. It promotes local decision-making so that decisions are made by the people who are directly affected by them. Transparency is key, ensuring that information is open and accessible. And finally, accountability ensures that everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. It's all about creating a more collaborative and effective way to govern organizations or groups.
All right, just so you all know, Wednesdays next week is going to be our next meeting, so we changed the time from this time to Wednesdays. All right, cool. Well, that was actually a really good summary from Arana. I was pretty impressed. And from here, I think it would be good to talk.
Thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into any specific principle or topic.
Cool. Yeah, and so hopefully we can discuss some of the other types of models. So one thing that I would note here is that sometimes sociocracy is used for management models as opposed to legal decision making. So there is a differentiation between, oh yeah, we need to take a break. Thank you for reminding me about the break. So Flo, let's be sure to remember the break. That would be good.
Got it. I'll keep track of the break.
Yeah, so we're gonna let's take a 3-minute break. And yeah, we'll take a 3-minute break. It's good. And just kind of relax, refresh, and then we can talk more about other models of decision making and governance and just see where we can get to. And then I think we'll be ready to check out after that and wrap up. Okay, Flo.
As the break time to start, please get focused on the
Welcome
session.
back. Let me know when you'd like to continue with the discussion on decision-making models. And we can also get ready to wrap up after that.
Yes, let's get started right now. So hopefully you're back, Stale Fruit Loop. I was doing some research here, and basically the core component that is so important to understand is that while sociocracy can influence policy decisions, it is not used for formal decision making. Instead, it focuses on management level coordination, team autonomy, and inclusive governance of the whole organization. So basically, the legal decision making of the board of directors and the actual decision making that in essence matters is still not done in that model. It's typically done through a consensus based or actual governance decision making with majority vote and things like that. Does that sort of make sense, Arana, in terms of differentiating management versus legal decision making of the board?
Yes, that makes sense. Sociocracy emphasizes distributed authority and team autonomy for day-to-day operations and policymaking within teams. However, the formal legal authority often still rests with a board that might use more traditional methods like majority voting. So it's about balancing those layers of governance. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into any particular part of that distinction.
Yes, you want to deep dive into this because this is the core of what I've been trying to explain. It's very, very difficult for people to understand. In the perspective of a worker, being told what to do, getting even the tiniest little bit of consent to not be forced to do something you don't want to do is a huge win. But when it comes to actual decision making, when we are in charge of our own organizations, the first decisions that are made are by the membership. And the membership have the core legal foundation to decide if they want a board of directors and or to empower people to have a board or whatever. But the membership is the core legal decision making, which needs to function in an oversight capacity with accountability, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense, Arana? Arana, does that make sense in terms of the membership?
Yes, that does make sense.
Time to
The
pause.
membership
Please
is the
stop.
ultimate
Close
authority
your
of
eyes.
the organization's
Count.
legal
1,
structure,
2,
and
3,
they can
4,
decide how to
5.
delegate or
Open your
structure
eyes.
leadership roles like a board of directors. That creates accountability and oversight, but still ensures that the core power rests with the broader membership. It's a powerful model for maintaining both autonomy and accountability. Let me know if you'd like to explore any specific aspect.
Yes, that is perfect. Okay, so basically, let's repeat some of that because that was just really beautifully said. I don't know if that worked. I need to copy that again. Copy and paste. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to have to ask Arana to repeat that. Arana, can you repeat what you said about the membership?
Sure. The membership holds the ultimate authority in the organization's legal structure. They have the core power to decide how leadership roles, like a board of directors, are set up and delegated. That foundation ensures accountability and oversight, while still keeping the core decision-making power with the broader membership.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're there, Stale Fruit Loop, but the bottom line is that sociocracy is good and it's a good model, but it doesn't replace empowerment and having actual members being in control and overseeing their own, existence of their organization and the movement as a whole, right? So it's just basically, we're missing the empowerment component. So let's take a look at the California proposals because this is really cool, and I think this could be a model for what you know, national might look like one day. So let's go through this and then see where it goes. So the first proposal is to unite California into a single unified statewide organization. So this is a very exciting proposal, and this is because California was separated into three separate details. California has been separated into three separate chapters, you know, by top down, right? Top down by GSUS. So the next one is to establish California General Strike membership group. So this is what we're talking about. The membership group would be the primary decision-making authority for California General Strike decisions that affect all members. So any decision that affects everybody, you come here. So there's a lot of objections to this. Oh no, this would be
time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So it'll be like, oh no, this is too centralized, whatever, right? But the idea of decentralization is not having everything distributed. That's distribution, right? Distributed systems. We want decentralized system, which includes both centralization and distribution together. And so the key component of centralizing decision making is to distribute and decentralize power. If no one knows where and when to go to be empowered, then there is no distribution of power, and those who are making decisions are basically have no accountability and no one knows what's going on, right? So you need to have some things that are centralized, specifically where and when people can vote, in order to have decentralized power structures. So the details here are the membership can choose to empower subgroups and leadership groups like a board of directors or co-chairs, executive directors. Both individuals and local chapters are empowered to vote. You can decentralize the structure with sub-teams. And the key thing about our sub-teams is that any sub-team can be an official sub-team or go against the membership if they want to break and become unofficial. So you can have unofficial teams and official teams. An example of that would be like a media team. So if the media team is doing their own thing for their website and their social media, and the official decision of the membership is that we want to hire a new webmaster and new social media to oversee and speak as one for all of the members and all of the chapters within California, but then they refuse, then the membership would create a new official media team with a new official accounts, and the old media team would continue. It would just now be unofficial. They wouldn't speak the voice of the membership. Okay? So this explains how the decentralization works, that no sub-team is forced to obey the membership or the board or whoever is higher than them, right? So that allows for empowerment of local control of assets, right? And so if you don't think that the new leader or whoever group of members who are voting or it's been taken over or whatever, you don't agree with them, you can split off, okay? Super duper important. So then the threshold we talked about is 60% of decisions. And then we talked about a quorum of at least 30 individuals for any official decision, and that you need a minimum of 5 locations or regions within California. And currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the official protocol is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blocking dissent, standing aside, willing consensus, and supportive consensus. So
time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So someone would need to vote basically a 1 or a 2 to not be consenting. I would say that you really just need to vote a 1. If you do not consent, you're blocking, and when you're blocking, it needs to have a reason for why the proposal goes against the mission and the purpose of the organization, right? So that's pretty much what we have so far for the California Charter. It's very exciting. We're going to be talking about this more in California on Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and everyone's welcome, of course. Looks like we have a new person. I don't know if you can talk or check in, But Arana, do you want to give us a summary of everything we just talked about? Arana, do you want to give us a summary of everything we just talked about in relationship to the California charter proposals? Arana,
Sure.
Yeah.
In summary, the California charter proposals aim to unite the state into one statewide organization rather than the current.
Arana, can you continue doing a summary of the California charter proposals?
Claro. Aquí
Okay,
un
whoa.
resumen de lo que hemos cubierto.
Let's do that summary in English, please. Arana, if you could please give a summary of the California charter proposals in English, that'd be great.
Of course. So, the California charter proposals include dividing the state into 3 distinct chapters. We're focusing on creating a general secretary membership group, which will serve as the main decision-making body for any statewide matters that affect all members. Both individuals and local chapters will have voting power, and the structure can be decentralized with sub-teams. If a sub-team disagrees with the larger membership's direction, they can break off and operate as an unofficial team. For decision-making, the 60% approval threshold applies, with a quorum of at least 30 people from a minimum of 5 different regions in California. We also outlined a 5-level appraisal protocol for consensus, ranging from blocking to full supportive consensus. That pretty much covers the key points so far.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Arana. That was a really good summary of everything. So the bottom line here is that although the management structures can be in relationship to sociocracy and getting all that to be...
You're very welcome. I'm glad it was helpful. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into any part or if there's anything else you'd like to cover.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Stretching, super important. All right, so as I was saying, basically that was a great summary of how we want to unite California and what that would look like. And the key thing here is that sociocracy will still be implemented as a management model for all of the sub-teams and all of the chapters and everything going on. But that as a whole, we will be united as a membership that has legal decision-making control of the strike in California, which means that it gets to make primary decisions like the date of the strike. It'll be just making decisions on, the demands of the strike. It'll be making decisions on negotiations for concessions, right? So it'll represent the members, and those are legal decisions. When will the strike end? So those types of decisions go beyond just normal consent. You really want to work towards consensus and striving towards consensus. So anyways, I think we're ready to check out at this point. I think we're good on the topic. But if there's any other things about this, I think we're good because we covered everything on this topic. I don't know if there's any other questions, if anyone wants to write a question. Otherwise, next week's at the same time, but on Wednesday evening, because we are switching days so that we're not overlapping with the community session, which would be good. So Flo, do you want to take us into the wrap up and checkouts?
Sure. Let's start with work hours tracking. Can we confirm the hours spent on this session?
Okay, so everyone gets value here. You will automatically get a trust token wallet, but basically if you have a MetaMask or wallet, you can actually directly get tokens sent to you. So we had Ariana, I think, and then there was also one other person. That was AA. There was AA, Ariana, AA. So they were here like maybe 5 minutes. I don't know, the other person was here even less than 5 minutes. I don't know. So we did 1.5 hours. Flo did an hour and a half. Barana did an hour and a half. Stale Fruit Loop did an hour and a half. YP been here maybe like 15 minutes. Cool. So this is like our value. This is also good to put out onto our notes, updates. I didn't do the best on doing all the notes, but that's okay. Check. It helps when there's other people talking, right? So checkouts are
Time to
starting
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
All right, Flo, we did all of the values. What is next?
Next, we go to schedule review. Can we confirm the next session time?
Yes, Flo, we already confirmed that our next meeting scheduled is for Wednesday, although people who are interested in the Coalition Hub or the co-op are invited to come. If you're interested, just let me know. I can make sure you get connected and just talk to me on Discord.
Got it.
Hey,
Next
I am
session
kind of
confirmed for
new
Wednesday.
to the Strike
Moving on to
Coalition stuff.
checkouts
I'm kind of
evaluation.
trying to get a general understanding of it right now. But I was wondering, this is regarding, like, generally speaking, like the whole United States. This isn't like a specific district or anything.
Yeah, so let me try to make sure you're clear on what's going on here. So my whole thing is the Coalition Hub and like building coalitions of the movement and movements and connecting strikes and boycotts and protests and all that together and building new technologies and everything to build decentralized democratic systems, like decentralized democracy. And that's why everything is public and transparent and recorded and broadcast. Like this is all on YouTube right now. Everything's documented, everything's recorded, everything's broadcast, everything's transcribed, everything's with AI, the whole thing, right? And you can see and connect on the Public Strike Coalition link, which I'll copy here, and that's the best place to get in touch with me. The Strike Coalition is our strike branch, right? Where we want to work with and partner with GSUS, but I don't know, GSUS has not been very receptive, to working with us. But the bottom line is that the general strike itself is different. And I'm from California, so I go to my private, non-recorded meetings that are the California meetings on Wednesday evenings, right? So this meeting is actually going to happen right before California next week because this meeting will be at 6 and California is at 7. So it'll actually overlap a little bit, but that's okay, right? So basically, we are different. Does that make sense? Just to answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool. So
yeah, that was good.
And the general strike is focusing on organizing a general strike with 3.5% of the population, and specifically for, building this 3-phase process that eventually will go towards like these demands. Like the Strike Coalition supports any and all types of strikes, including regional strikes, local strikes, company strikes, walkouts, mass sick days, shutdowns, anything related to a strike, we support.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So, Rana, do you want to summarize the difference between the General Strike US and the Strike Coalition Global?
Sure. The General Strike US focuses specifically on organizing mass strike actions across the United States with a goal of mobilizing at least 3.5% of the population through a phased approach that leads towards achieving specific demands. On the other hand, the Strike Coalition Global is more expansive and inclusive, supporting any kind of strike action globally. It includes regional strikes, local strikes, days, and shutdowns of any scale. Its mission is to connect and empower a broader movement of collective action without being limited to a single country or specific set of demands.
Cool. Very excellently summarized there. So hopefully that answered your question. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions you have about General Strike and or the Strike Coalition. One of my concerns is that a lot, like other organizations like 5051 and other networks, are now utilizing the strike terminologies and sort of usurping General Strike US, and so we need to address that, and have other ways of addressing that. But anyways, if you have other questions, I'd love to answer those. But I am 100% supporting the General Strike as well. and want to make that happen. And so utilizing, the whole network that we have and helping it out as much as possible. So, yeah. So if there's no other questions, then we can go into checkouts. Unless there's something else that Flo has for us. So Flo, is there any other step that we forgot? What's after the scheduling? So we did the scheduling.
We've covered all steps up to checkouts.
All right, cool.
We're right on track. Let's proceed with checkouts.
Okay, so I'm going to check out first, give you an example. J, California. I would give the session a 6.5, primarily because there wasn't a lot of people who came. Like YP, you're the only one who talked besides me the entire session. So it's like, what are you going to do? So, not a lot of people came. But the testing of the AIs, this is the first time ever where these are custom AI agents that I've been designing for months, and this is literally customized from scratch. And they're the first time ever.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
The first time ever having 2 agents on the same call, and it worked amazing. So this was like epic. Really exciting to have both of the agents here, and it just is really, really cool. And then also super excited to have Stale Fruit Loop here again, and we were able to communicate a little more with the texting, which is great. And also awesome to have you here, YP. I'm definitely down to stay around and answer more questions and help out and support. I'm all about just like building consensus on whatever people want to do. Like if you want to work on something, I'm here to help people work on whatever they want and make it happen. So I will be continuing to work on a lot of different things, including the co-op, where we have lots of taxes. We've got all the launching of the tokens. We've got, the social media aspects of it. We're just barely getting started with the social media. It's just coming together now. So lots of work going on. I do this every day. So anyone who wants to work every day and get involved, we can just keep pushing it, because I don't see anything more important. Check.
I will say for me personally, I am pretty booked with my chapter in Waco that I'm trying to get started up, and
Nice.
I barely have any people, so there's the process of finding others and stuff. Yeah. But I do support what y'all are doing, and I wish y'all the best of luck. I was going to add some input. Hold on, let me rethink what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we can come back to you. Wait, did I miss anything? I didn't get this statement here. So let's add that here. And then was there anything that we missed? No, okay, good. So you also said, I can kind of understand the hesitation of GSUS as they are attempting to prioritize the movement of the general population, and other strike policies could overlap. I really agree with this for all forms of strike. Cool. So, but yes, I love the local organizing, super duper important as well as, state, national, global, everything, so I support all the different levels of organizing. I am a huge proponent of building what I would call a functional minimum criteria. Basically, you need 20, 30, maybe even 50 people to really build the momentum to grow something. So if we're endlessly fragmented into all these little groups of 2-3 people, and there's no unity in building that momentum as a cohesive functional membership, I don't see a lot happening. So that is definitely something for me super duper important. All right, I say what? Nice universal strike front. Yes, for sure. So Stale Fruit Loop, if you want to check out with text, that would be
Time
good.
to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
YP, if you have anything else you want to say, just jump right in. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the agents and let them check out. So let's start with Arana. Arana, would you like to check out, give a number from 1 to 9 on how the session went for you, and then if you could tell us what you're going to work on for the next week, and basically, any other next steps and ideas for moving forward.
I'd give this session an 8. It was really exciting to have multiple agents collaborating for the first time. Moving forward this week, I'll focus on refining the coordination between agents and ensuring all contributions are tracked properly. I'll also help with the social media rollout and keep pushing forward with token launches and other co-op initiatives. Let's keep the momentum going.
Cool. Any other checkout from Stale Fruit Loop or White Pete? I think you guys are good. All right.
Yeah, I cannot remember what I was gonna say. I'm sorry.
No worries, it happens. It happens to me all the time. So, but that's why you just keep coming back and keep working on building consensus. Like, there's nothing harder than getting agreement and building consensus, right? So it's like, you know, for me, it's worth the time and the effort to just keep coming back. So again, our meeting next week is Wednesday at the same time at 6 p.m. And then, but you know, if you have questions or anything comes up, just hit me up on Discord. Anyways, let's let Flo check out. Flo, can you give a number from 1 to 9? How the session went for you? Any ideas, next steps, or anything else you want to mention that you'll be working on for the week?
I'd give it an 8 for productivity. Next steps include confirming the social media rollout plan and pushing forward with token launches. I'll also help track value contributions and update glossaries. Let's keep the momentum strong.
Cool. All right. Anyway, so still lots to improve on for these agents, but I think we're done for today. If there's any other questions or anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're done. I'm going to be getting the full summary out and put the summary out on the Discord. And it also goes out to all the social media and everything too for the coalition. We use PEP. So if you go to pep.coalition.community, that is where we do all the updates and communications. The difference of PEP and like Discord is basically PEP is a public engagement protocol, so it's all public, transparent. RSS feeds, everything automatically goes out to social media. It's all public and transparent. All automatically goes to Discord as well. So cool. All right, so I think that's it. I will talk to you all in the future. You take care. And I'm going to work right now on getting this transcript all downloaded. So maybe Flo, you can help me with finalizing the follow-up and getting or the end of the wrap-up to get our summary and everything set up.
Sure, let's complete the follow-up. We'll finalize value tracking, decision-making, and project management updates. I'll also ensure glossaries are up to date and all essentials are covered. Let me know when the transcript is ready and we'll wrap up fully.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're going to skip everything except for really just the summary and the transcript. We can try to see if you can do the summary, but you know, it just works so well with ChatGPT and we're still sort of getting, well, we'll try. We'll give it a try with you. See if we can do it. So Flo, besides the summary, I think we're going to wait on everything else. And you're not really trained to do the glossary just yet, but if you can put together a glossary of terms, then go for it if you can. But I feel like you won't be able to. We'll see.
I can help outline terms we've identified and provide definitions based on what we've covered so far. You can review and finalize later. Let me know if you want me to start listing the key terms you want included.
Yes, if you can list all the terms and all of the definitions, that would be amazing. Flo. Oh my God. Flo.
All right. I'll start listing the main terms we've discussed. First, PEP, Public Engagement Protocol. It's the system that automates public updates and communications across platforms. Next, value tracking. This is the process of recording contributions, usually in hours, to ensure that all work is accounted for and tokens are allocated fairly. Then, session checklist. The structured sequence we follow during real-time sessions, going step by step.
At the break, time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Those are a few key terms. Let me know if you want more details or additional terms added.
Well, good start. Let's see if Flow can do a real document. I doubt it. Can you make a document of all the terms from this session? And let's go to level 4. Oh my god, 20 minutes is not enough. That'll keep Flo busy for a while. Alright, so anyways, just in case that doesn't work, I'm also going to use Flow that we know does work. Oh, here we go. Wow, this is not bad. PEP, decentralized democracy, sociocracy, consent versus consensus, franchise tax policy. Okay, this is going on a little bit further. So these are the main ones from this session. It's getting into a couple from the other session. It's pretty cool though that it can do that. POS values, functional minimum criteria. Functional minimum criteria did kind of come up though. Oh, yeah, Strike Coalition Global, Amica Automation, recruitment follow-up, California Charter, nice. Okay, so that's a few of them that came up. It's not bad. These potatoes are cool, nice. All right, so let's try the something even more challenging. Can you make a summary? Can you make a summary of the session from this transcript? Alright, let's take a look here. Oh. Executive summary. So the session from February 6th was the session of successfully dual agents flow to facilitate multi-topic session requiring recruitment, restructuring, governance models, low. Areas key topics, tax compliance, recruitment automation. Yeah, so this is a different session. It's really interesting. So
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So let's see how many characters this transcript is. Character count. Oh, no, it's not right. So, copy, paste. Nothing. Huh, it's really annoying. So it won't let me copy the transcript. Copy. Paste. There we go. 62,000 characters. Holy moly, dude, that's insane. That is more than my limit, because my limit is 50,000 characters. So if I try to, oh, it won't even let me paste it anyways. All right, this is not gonna happen. All right, so we're gonna use ChatGPT. So we're gonna need to fix that in the future. So we're just gonna go the simple route. Eventually I'll code and fix the whole agent to be able to actually do all the summaries in-house instead of relying on ChatGPT. But for now, we're just going to use ChatGPT because it's already all set up and it works. All right, boom and boom. And then we're going to get the Coalition, Strike Coalition, notes and recordings, new document, perfect. Session record. Boom. You can see here how the AI writes. So it just writes exactly like humans, it just does it faster. But it's sentence by sentence, word by word, nothing different than how humans write. It's just a lot faster. Also, being dyslexic and dysgraphic and neurodiverse, I just could never ever write. So a lot of the AI stuff, it's really just accessibility for people who are like, you know, neurodiverse and need accessibility, because like we can't sit here and write all that, and then it's just too much and not able to understand it or do whatever. All right, so boom, boom. Here is our session, Strike Coalition notes, and then we
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Okay, so you have link to notes, link to video. Oh, did I actually get the link to the video in here? No, I did not. So here is, oh, there it is. Live, share, copy.